So the last phase is the decision phase, where the device will provide an analysis of the heart rate and with a discrimination of the origin of the arrhythmia in the conditional zone. So once the signals have been classified in a tachyconditional zone, there's going to be 3 steps for the discrimination of the origin of the arrhythmia. First, the static morphology, so comparison between the cycles during the tachycardia with a template during sinus rhythm. Then a dynamic comparison, so a bit-to-bit comparison of the morphology of the signals during the tachycardia, and then analysis of the QRS widths during the tachycardia. So NSR template recorded during a stable slow rhythm is used to determine if the morphology of the signals during the tachycardia is similar or dissimilar compared to the template, and if the QRS duration, the duration of the complexes, is equivalent or longer compared to the template. Up to 41 points are used for morphology analysis and comparison between the morphology of the template and morphology of the signals during the tachycardia. There is also a dynamic comparison of the morphology of the signals during the tachycardia. The idea is to determine if the tachycardia is monomorphic or polymorphic. If it is polymorphic, it will prompt the delivery of the therapy. The third parameter that will be analyzed for the discrimination is the QRS widths, with a comparison between the QRS widths during the tachycardia and the QRS widths of the template. If the QRS widths during the tachycardia is narrower than the QRS widths of the template, this is in favor of SVT. If the QRS width during the tachycardia is wider than the NSR template, then it's in favor of a ventricular tachycardia. So we can see here the different steps for the decision phase. First, if the cycle is in the shock zone, yes, it's going to be classified T. If it is outside the shock zone and if it is not in the conditional zone, then the cycle will be classified S. If it is in the conditional zone, the first step of the discrimination will be the analysis of the static morphology with a comparison with the morphology of the template. If there is a good match, then the cycles will be classified S because it is in favor of SVT. If there is a poor match, the second step will be analysis of the dynamic morphology, so a bit-to-bit comparison of the morphology. If the tachycardia is considered polymorphic, it's going to be classified T. If it is monomorphic, the last step will be the analysis of the QRS widths. If there is a wide QRS, so a wider QRS duration compared to the template, it's going to be classified T. If there is a narrow QRS, then it's going to be classified S. You can see here the different steps between the decision phase, the classification of the cycles, and then the decision to deliver the therapy. If the cycles are classified T, the first step will be a probabilistic counter. Then you can program a smart charge, which is an algorithm that will increase the number of required cycles before starting the charge if some episode of non-sustainabilities have been previously detected. The last step before starting the charge is the algorithm charge confirmation. And then at the end of the charge, before delivering the shock, the last step is the algorithm shock confirmation.